To begin today's festivities, I would like to introduce the 17th president of St. Mary of the Woods College, Brennan Randolph.
Thank you, Kevin. I really appreciate the attendance and all of you showing up to hear what we have to share with you today. We figured out some trigger words to get people to show up, and maybe football is one of those, and people will come and listen to a press conference and what we have to say, so we might use that in the future. So, back in the fall of 22, you will recall that we launched the Sprint football program. This was a new program in the Midwest. We were a founding member of the Midwest Sprint Football League, joining other institutions to bring this new sport to our community and to bring students to SMWC that in some cases maybe would never have enrolled at our institution. Sprint football brought on a whole new line of opportunities for us as an institution and enrollment growth, a new energy on campus, and no doubt more students and more young men that joined our campus community. We were really pleased to do that. You will probably also notice that over the last several years, our team and the coaching staff have had extreme success in this league and in this sport. And over the last several months, the institution has gone through a discernment period to decide if it is time for us to move to a different level of football. And that's exactly why we are gathered here today. So I'm excited to announce that beginning in fall of 2026, we will be moving the Sprint football program to a full-blown NAIA program. We have been accepted as a member of the Mid-States Football Association, and we will begin competing at that level in fall of 26. So in a sense, that is what we have to share with you today. Everything else that you're going to hear is really just additional information that's going to provide details and excitement that surrounds that decision. But before I hand it off back to Kevin, I do want to take a minute to say some thank yous to various folks. So I want to express sincere appreciation for the Midwest Sprint Football League. As a founding member, it was a difficult decision to make the move away from this league, but Brian McGee, the president of Quincy University, and no doubt Ron Prettyman, who serves as the commissioner, have been really good to work with. And we wish them the best in their future endeavors as the league continues on. We will be finishing the final year as a Sprint football program in this next year. So fall of 25 will be Sprint football and the final year for that league. And then again, we will move to NAIA beginning in 26. I also want to thank President Dan Elsner, the president of Marian University. He is the chair of the Council of Presidents with the new league, the MSFA. There's another acronym for us all to practice, by the way. So as we move into the MSFA, it's been a pleasure to work with Dan Elsner over the last several weeks in making this move and making this decision for the betterment of SMWC. And I do want to highlight a few things, and I think you're going to hear more about this from both Kevin and Coach Powell. That this really gives us an opportunity to grow in ways and to bring in additional students in the future that have both the athletic ability, no doubt, but have a really strong academic ability, which is why our students are here. So this was a major reason for the decision, not only the success that we've seen in the years, but what this will do for us in the future. So it's my pleasure to say to all of you that this is the direction we are going. And I'm going to invite Kevin back up, but before I do that, I want to take a minute to thank Coach Powell and his staff, because over the last several weeks, and many other leaders on campus, we have been in a deep process with our Board of Trustees, going through a discernment process to make this decision, and no doubt looking at lots of data and information to make sure that we are making a well-informed decision. And the board supported this in recent days, and here we are. So folks, we will be an NAIA football program in fall of 26. Kevin Lanke.
Thank you so much, Brennan, and I would also like to thank the Board of Trustees. We went through a lot of work in many different areas with academic parts of campus, with the athletic parts of campus, with facilities parts of campus, to make sure that this is the right decision for St. Mary of the Woods College in every single facet. And we do believe we will be stronger from an enrollment standpoint, stronger from the dollars that come with that, stronger from the academics that come with that. We really believe this is a campus-wide positive day, and we do wish the MSFL continued success as they move forward. That's a key, and we do hope to have a great 2025 in the MSFL as well first. But wanted to give you a few facts on NAIA football. So what is the NAIA, right? So we are in the NAIA in our remaining varsity sports. We're a member of the River States Conference in our other sports. The River States does not have enough football programs to be in the River States Football Conference. So that meant we needed to reach out and branch out and find a league that made some geographic sense. And so I'll talk about the league here in just a moment, but I would like to talk about NAIA football a little bit first. There are 97 NAIA football programs. To give you an idea, there's about 110 FCS, FCS, that's the level Indiana State is at, about 110 programs at that level. So 97 with NAIA, very comparable size to the FCS that you're familiar with here as scholarship football fans of Indiana State here in Terre Haute. There are 13 conferences in the NAIA football. Now, that means you need to find a home. It's very hard. There aren't really independents in NAIA football, so you needed to find a home before we could really make this announcement happen and make this the case. And so we're very fortunate that the Mid-States Football Association is going to be our new home. There's a 2014 postseason tournament at the end. So you're used to the way playoffs work, and now there's a 12-team playoff in Division I football. There's a 2014 playoff at Indiana State's level. There's also a 2014 playoff in the NAIA. And one of the great things about the NAIA, this Mid-States Football Association, I'm going to talk about this in a second, it's divided into two leagues, the Mid-East League and the Midwest League, and the winner of both leagues get automatic qualifiers. So the MSFA actually has two automatic qualifiers in that 2014 tournament. So the year that SMWC wins the Midwest League, that's a playoff bid. So, and we've had a lot of success in sprint football. I know Coach Powell has high expectations. We all have high expectations. This is going to be another level of competition. When I tell you some of these names, they're very recognizable names, not only in NAIA football, but in just positive, huge, well-funded institutions across the state of Indiana. These are institutions that we are very proud to be aligned with, and it's a very big honor for St. Mary of the Woods to be in the MSFA as we go forward. The 2025 National Championship game, by the way, for the NAIA is in Fort Worth, Texas on December 20th. So they run it, a great tournament. For those that know, the men's basketball team made the Sweet 16 in Kansas City this year. That was an NAIA national championship. That was a good case of what the experience of going to a national tournament is like. We had a great experience with that here at St. Mary of the Woods College, and the football programs do the same thing. So let's talk a little about the MSFA. And I'm going to have Griffin Olson, our assistant, come here, and as I mentioned who the 12 teams are in the league, kind of point out where they are on the map so that you kind of get a gauge of who these 12 teams are. So right now in the Mid-East League, for the 2026 season, there are 5 teams confirmed for the league, and that is Defiance, which is in Ohio, Indiana Wesleyan, Lawrence Tech, which is up in Michigan, Madonna, also up in Michigan, and Taylor. And if you do the math on that, that's 5 out of 12. Right now there's 7 in the Midwest League. I'll get to that in a second. One of the teams in the Midwest League will be transferring to the Mid-East League so that they're both balanced with 6. We've been told St. Mary of the Woods will not be that team because of where we sit geographically. We will be in the Midwest League. So the Midwest League includes Judson, Marion, Olivet Nazarene, St. Francis of Indiana, St. Francis of Illinois, St. Xavier, and now in 26, St. Mary of the Woods. And so that's a good map visual, and you can see why the Midwest League makes a lot of sense for us from a geographic standpoint. Everyone that Griffin pointed to right there that is in the Midwest League right now is all within 3 hours and a half of Terre Haute. So that's a day trip. Most of those trips are within 2.5 to 3 hours. There's a couple outliers that are 3.5 to 4. But from a cost perspective, this makes a lot of sense. From a geography perspective, a lot of sense. And These are very familiar programs for those that are playing athletics in the state of Indiana. MSFA teams have won 9 national championships in NAIA football since this league was founded back in the mid-90s. So 9 national titles in the last 30 years. There have been 2-time national champions. Finlay, who's no longer in the league, St. Francis, Indiana, and Marion have won multiple national championships. So, I would liken this to say, if I'm realistic about it, what league level, if you're talking about like the Division I leagues, this is the equivalent of an ACC or a Big 12. This is a powerful Power 4 conference. It may not be ranked as the absolute hardest conference in the country, but it's on the very short list. So to be able to be in a league this prestigious right off the bat is a huge opportunity from the recruiting standpoint that I know Coach Powell will be talking about here shortly. We're very excited about this. I do want to answer one question that may come up to folks, and that's where we plan to play. And I will tell you, SMWC is working toward an on-campus facility option, but right now we are fortunate to have a great relationship with the Vigo County School Corporation. We currently play our games at West Vigo High School. Over the next 12 months, we're going to figure out where these games are going to be starting in the 2026 season. So I don't have that definite answer today. That's going to be a process over the rest of the year, but we are fortunate that we have a great relationship with Vigo County Schools as we navigate into NAIA football. And with that, I want to talk a little about the recruitment opportunities that this brings. And we had limited interaction because we don't want to get too far into it before this is announced, but the coaches have been doing a little bit of work, and what we have immediately found is there are schools in the state of Indiana very interested in NAIA football recruitment from St. Mary of the Woods that we have not traditionally been able to get students from. We've had a lot of success talking to some of the schools in Indianapolis. Some of the Catholic-based schools, some of the parochial schools, some of the public schools in Indy have already been in contact with SMWC. That's an area we haven't had a lot of students from in the past. We're hoping not only to get football players from that area, but that's going to open the door for our other athletic teams to recruit and also non-athletes to see friends of theirs coming to St. Mary of the Woods from schools that can really bring opportunities and highly academic students to the state. I'm not going to give too much of Coach Powell's plan. I want to let him talk about the recruitment plan, but that's one big piece of it is to try to get not just football players, but other athletes and non-student athletes from the schools that Coach Powell's going to be talking about that we're looking to recruit in. We do think that this will cause a pipeline that will be great for years to come. I will also say this. You cannot make this kind of a move without having the right coach and the right coaching staff in place, as Brennan had alluded to. Coach Blaine Powell and the staff have done a phenomenal job. Let me give you some numbers. Coach Powell has a 20-4 record in 3 years of MSFL football. We have won 3 regular season championships, 1 playoff championship. Our goal is to make those numbers 4 and 2 this year in 2025. But not only that, though, Coach Powell, as those of you know on campus, yes, we want to win football games, but we're very concerned about the academic and professional processes of our students and our student athletes. And Coach Powell is an advocate every day for the academic and on-campus experience of student athletes and is a wonderful recruiter for this college, not just the football program. And that's why we can make this move to the NAIA, because I truly believe we have the right coaching staff in place today to get us into the MSFA successfully. So with that, I'd like to bring to the podium to talk about his recruitment plan, Head Coach Blaine Powell.
Vanna White don't have anything on Coach Griff. Good job there. Anyway, I'll say a few things here. I want to say a few thank yous as well. Of course, first of all to my coaching staff who, like Kevin said, have done a great job. I don't know if anybody works as hard as they do, and very seldom do I have to ask them to go above and beyond what is asked, but they constantly do that. These guys go out and water the field and anything that we need done outside of just recruiting and X's and O's. So there's a lot more that goes into it, and these guys have always done a great job. Thank you to the MSFL. Midwest Sprint Football League's been great. We've had a lot of success in it, but it was we just feel like this is the right move for us, and we wish them the best. We really look forward to this season. We got a lot of unfinished business that we feel like we need to take care of, and I feel like we have the right guys to do that on this roster going into this year. Thank you to our past and present players. I mean, we've had some great guys here, and we currently have some great guys here who've done so much for this program. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be in the position that we are in to be able to move up to the NAIA level. And, especially that first class that we brought in here. We've got a couple of them right up front here that instrumental in everything we've accomplished and everything that we've done in the past. And, they got one more year to get the job done, and I got a lot of faith in them. Thank you to the Mid-States Conference or Mid-States League, to let us in that league. It's an honor to be in one of, if not the most prestigious league in NAIA. I mean, that's a big step, and we're really looking forward to it. And really just moving to our recruiting plan. I mean, nothing really changes. Plus, I don't want to give away too much up here, but nothing really changes. We just got to get a little bit bigger, really. And it all starts in the Wabash Valley for us. We currently have 74 players total on our roster. 37 of those are from the Wabash Valley, and I don't know of too many schools in the state that can say that they have 50% of their roster from the Wabash Valley. And we'll continue to start there. And we've been very present and in front of a lot of kids already in the Wabash Valley, and they'll see us a lot more. We'll branch out to the rest of the state of Indiana, and when it comes to that, we have 49 players right now from the state of Indiana out of our 74, and we want to increase that percentage if possible, and we think that this move will allow us to do that. We'll still continue to recruit nationally. We've been very successful bringing in talented players from outside the state. We currently have players from 12 states, led by, we have 11 from Texas, 5 from Illinois, and 4 from California. And, we'll continue to reach out to those kids and get the right pieces that we need to be successful. And, I have a lot of confidence that making this move is, we will be successful. Without a doubt. We've got a great plan, and we will continue to carry out that plan. We're just really excited for the chance to bring in more players here. And this move, as Kevin said, it does allow us to bring in a higher level of education and just the understanding of the importance of academics. And it has already opened the door. I would say over 90% of the players that we've offered for the 26th class is a 3.0 or above. And that will continue to be our goal, is to bring in student athletes that understand that the student comes first, and then athletes are second. So that's all I have today. I really appreciate everybody coming out. It's a great crowd, and really proud to be a Pomeroy today. Thank you.